Welcome
Welcome
to
to
Shade in the City.
Shadeinthecity.
Oh, Jesus, my fork. I'm so sorry. I am your girl, Treese, and I'm
It
clearly.
smells.
And we are here to review episode 6 of season 6, I believe.
Episode 6 of
Oh,
season
5.
five.
Episode 6 of
Mhm.
Love and Marriage Huntsville. So, welcome back, Shade Squad. If you haven't already.
We need a resolution.
Yes, I did like the title. I thought that was
Right?
So Shade Squad, welcome back. Welcome new viewers. If you haven't already, please make sure that you hit that like button.
And the subscribe button.
And y'all, let's get into it and let's get shady because we need a resolution. We need a resolution.
At the Madani store to see Destiny. And she really coming in acting like it was giving, I really don't know what's going on. I really need you to explain.
But I
I'm
seen it all over
oblivious
the internet.
to
And I'm just trying to figure out.
everything. But I want
It
the
was giving
tea,
nosy.
girl.
It was giving love you, Tiffany. It was giving big Tiffany energy because this is what you do. Go ahead.
It was giving. She knew what the fuck was going on, and she was coming to get
She
the
wanted some
deets.
tea.
Exactly.
He was like, and that's why Destiny was like, "Did you bring anything spiked? You over here? You want me to spill some? Did you bring anything with some libations in it?"
Exactly. So Destiny lets her know that two people that were not invited did show up. She says Stormi showed up with flowers and a Gucci box. And I don't know why she said Gucci box. It was giving she didn't open the gift to see what was inside, although I felt like that was, I feel like she was trying to be petty. Like, yeah, that shit's still sitting in the box. I'm not about to, I don't know what it is. Give a damn what you said it was.
I guess you know what? I can respect. I don't have to like you. I'm taking the Gucci.
But I'm gonna open the box.
I'm gonna open the box and I'm going to wear it.
Exactly. Thank you.
And then I might take a picture in it in a post and tag you and say,
Thank you, boo. Looks cute with my outfit.
Look, I might tag you and say, I still don't like you, but thank you for the purse.
But she says that they're not friends, but it was a nice gesture, and I honestly, I really do feel like it was.
I think that was a super nice gesture.
It was a super nice gesture.
And Shade Squad, drop down in the comments. Tell me what you think. I've been seeing a lot of things on the internet, which makes me feel like y'all kind of feel like, and I am kind of like Team Stormi. I'm not gonna lie. So it's starting to make me feel like y'all are trying to shade her, like she's trying too hard to be Destiny's friend just because she did something nice. What's up with that? I've seen a couple things, and they be like, "Oh, she going so hard to be in Destiny phase, and please be my friend."
Maybe they feel like it's going so hard because they don't have.
I'm just telling you.
They don't have Stormi's bag. Now let's not get it twisted. Stormi,
I'm sure
of
she
course,
find her real life friends.
Listen,
Much
$2,000.
They probably out here getting Hermes bags with Stormi's money. Okay,
I'm sure $2,000 is still a lot to Stormi, right? But she wants to show a genuine olive branch. She knows that they got into it. She wants to support. Child, look.
I don't know. I'm just telling you what these, Love and Marriage streets, they be talking.
These Love and Marriage streets have always been super opinionated.
And trying to make it seem like, oh, she just, I want to be your friend. And I was like, but Stormi don't need her. Destiny needs Stormi. Let's just.
Exactly. And she doesn't want to, she's not asking to be her friend. She's asking for them to be cool. And it's a peace offering.
Right. And let's just be able to sit in the same room and, I ain't mad at it, but go ahead.
Well, Tiffany tells her that Stormi actually mailed her some flowers and sent her some hair care products and feels like, she's trying to put in the time to get to know everybody. Destiny says that Stormi pulled her to the side and let her know that she wants to have a real conversation, but she says she's not there yet, but she could be as long as it's genuine. And then she says Mel showed up and came to her establishment and didn't even speak. She says Mel claims that she did, but clearly it wasn't good enough for her, and told her next time you come in someone's establishment, you need to speak. And then Mel said,
Well, we
girl,
already know Mel said you think you the moment, or you trying to.
girl to her. And she's like, you know, that's the word that we don't use. We don't use the word girl. And told her that she was trying to be a moment and all this stuff. And she should have, then Destiny was like, yeah, I should have had you escorted out the way you did, Tisha. But I got too much class. No, bitch, you didn't have security. That's what it was. You didn't have security. Or so all that shit would have went down in front of your establishment, wouldn't have went down in your place of business.
Like I said, it ain't tricking if you got it.
Period. And then she tells her after their beef, she went and, I guess, beelined it over to Miss Wanda to confront her about, you know, what she said on the nightcap with Carlos. Tiffany asked her why they weren't there in her store to just celebrate her. And Destiny basically says, because, you know, it's more important for them to get what they got off their chest. They ain't here to support nobody's business.
Y'all, we all know if Tiffany was there, she'd be sitting there just like this. So, girl, bye. Girl, bye. You wouldn't have intervened. You wouldn't have said nothing. You would have sat there, drank your wine. And that's what you would have did, okay? You would have sat and watched.
Tiffany tells her she wasn't invited to certain events. So, you know, for whatever reason, and, you know, they had their big to-do at the Galentine's. And Destiny says that that's her thing. She don't understand why they even showed up to support her when they hadn't even had a conversation. Tiffany asked her if she thinks, you know, it tarnished the reputation of her shop. And she says she doesn't know yet. It's too fresh. Tiffany, you know, trying to be peacemaker, she says she hopes at some point they could all come together and celebrate one another. Then she tells her, you know, that she got apologies from everyone except for the person who started it all. And we know who she's talking about.
Mel.
That's exactly. She's talking about Mel.
Y'all, then Tisha comes over to Kimmy and Maurice's to talk about what happened. Tisha is still upset at how things went down and talks about how Marceau and her got into an argument the night before. Apparently Marceau told her that she doesn't need to talk and just needed to listen. He hit it with the Jodeci. He said, don't talk, just listen. I'm sorry. Anyway, so, and basically was like, you know, he didn't want to hear anything that she had to say. And she doesn't like the way he speaks to her sometimes. And she said, you know, I'm getting fed up out in these streets. This is a new Tisha. Okay? Y'all gonna respect my mind. So she asked him, she's like, yo, can you talk to Marceau? Because, you know, Maurice admits that, you know, they can try, but this is Marceau we're talking about. Like, I don't know what you're expecting. So Marceau has shown up and, you know, they asked how he's doing. And, you know, he talks about how he was fighting battles for other people. He says he and Martel had a very man-to-man, mano-y-mano conversation. And, you know,
a logical male conversation.
Oh, well, whatever. I put it in my own terms.
We're gonna say what it is so that the audience can get pick up what he was putting down.
Well, basically he said, we already know Marceau is who he is. Anyway, so they had a logical male conversation. And, you know, he feels like from their perspective, they don't really have no beef. They just out here both trying to protect their families. And, you know, basically, if Mel hadn't jumped out there, if it wasn't for Miss Wanda jumping out there, neither one of them backing down, they probably wouldn't be in these positions. But at the end of the day, they know they're going to have to do what they have to do to protect their families. So he feels like it put people like, you know, Tisha and Martel and himself into a space where they had to step up for them. And Marceau says, you know, there's only so much tension before someone throws the first blow. So he says if Wanda can't control herself at this point, he does not want her a part of his life. So Maurice is like, hold on, but that's Tisha's whole mama. How does that work out? That's her whole mama. Now at the same time, Marcel basically says if she's basically gonna keep bringing drama, he doesn't want Miss Wanda in his life. He's kind of good. He talks about, you know, because of Miss Wanda's mouth, they could have ended up in jail, dead, and lost everything. So he says, you know, women don't understand the collateral damage that comes with that. I'm not gonna, I just think sometimes we don't care, but you know, I'm not gonna disagree with that. Now Kimmy,
well, that doesn't make us sound very logical either.
I mean, sometimes I know, but you can go to jail and I still want to whoop your ass. It doesn't change. But anyway, now Kimmy is talking to Tisha in the kitchen. She says that basically Marceau blames her for getting into it with Mel because of Wanda, and says that if Miss Wanda weren't her mother, they'd be having a whole different type of conversation. Now, Marceau says that he feels like when he's trying to protect her, he don't need to hear shit from her. He don't want no input, no feedback. Shut the fuck up, listen to what I gotta say. And her job is to listen. So Kimmy feels like Marceau actually does have it worse out of anybody in the situation because it is his job to protect her. Tisha basically is more upset because she's like, that's fine, but you know, don't make me feel like I don't have a voice. And basically, I think Marceau told her she didn't have a voice.
He did.
So, you know, and she feels he needs to be more respectful when talking to her. She's not a slave. And I said, okay, come through. Newfound Tisha, new independence. I ain't mad at it, boo. She said in the confessional that, you know, she needs Marceau to back down and let her be her, basically. She says she's no longer comfortable with the idea of working with Martel either, especially after they were about to fight. Now, Marceau says he doesn't mind continuing to work with him, but when Maurice asked if he plans to continue to work with him,
he said he was not going to work with someone that his wife or business partner didn't want to work with. And then he asked him, would he hire him for jobs? And he said he ain't hiring nobody for jobs without a builder's license. So he did take Tisha's feelings into consideration, and I guess he's going to decide not to work with Martel.
Now, I feel like every review I have said that this man don't have a license, but you know, I'm just saying.
I knew he was gonna love that part.
Me and Marceau seem to be rocking this season. We seem to be rocking the season. I can't agree with everything you say, but for the most part, well, very, you know, smart man. I can appreciate it. And Maurice falls out laughing. He's like, why are you like this? Why? And that would have been some shit I would have said.
And I would have been Maurice. Why are you like this?
So I get it.
Martel stopped by Mel's house to check in on her and, you know, see how they could move forward in a positive way.
You came over and check up on it. I'm going to let you check up on it. Well, Mel wasn't letting him do none of that, but he came to check up on him.
Basically. She lets him know that she appreciated him at the event and, you know, coming by to check up on her. She says that, you know, when she got there, she spoke to Destiny and Kimmy, and she has no idea why Destiny out here spreading these lies, saying that she didn't. She thinks she just liked to lie. She says that's when Destiny came out and followed behind her, talking about, you need to speak to me. And she then, you know, I guess she's giving him just a rundown of, you know, what happened while he was not around. Right. So, you know, she says then she went over to Miss Wanda. She was cool, calm, and collected. But it was Miss Wanda's little crazy ass that was talking about, well, let me come around the table. She wanted to come talk to her in her face. And she was like, you know, she was still cool. Like, she was like, cuz, bitch, you ain't gonna punk me. Okay. But she said Miss Wanda was basically all up in her face like this and didn't think she was gonna point back. So she gave her the same energy. Okay. And she says that's when she went to go stand behind Martel, and that's how she completely missed that Miss Wanda lunged at her. First of all, I think Miss Wanda might have been like just trying to cause some ruckus but if you wanted to catch her, wasn't nobody looking, you could have caught her. You knew that would have really started some shit. You missed her on purpose is what it's
Miss
giving
Wanda
me.
ain't that stupid. I mean, she's stupid, but she ain't that stupid.
She ain't dense.
You look, you already see. I wouldn't be surprised if the next few episodes we don't get a lot of Miss Wanda. So clearly, she knew better than to completely mess up her paycheck because I do think they made her sit down and time out.
So he says that, he just felt somebody like go behind his back and he was ready to turn around swinging until he found out it was Miss Wanda. But, Mel says that she does appreciate him having her back. And he's like, you know what? We family, no matter what happens. You know what I mean?
As
I
long as
got
we got
you.
these 4 kids.
Basically, we always going to be family. And she's basically like, I'm giving the same energy. Can't nobody come at you either. Point blank, period. Me and your harem will be able to beat these bitches' asses.
She damn sure let Coleslaw go at his ass. Every time Coleslaw call him out, she don't say nothing.
Well, that's baby mama. That's their business.
Right.
That's somebody he fucking, okay? I mean, says that, he was trying to explain to to Martell that, if somebody says something about kids, they're talking about kids. And apparently Martell didn't agree. So they were saying that they couldn't control Miss Wanda. So he's basically telling them, well, she don't need to be around our group then. And if they don't disrespect each other like that, you really can't bring somebody in and do your dirty work for you.
That is the part. And I feel like that is reality TV 101. That is what they do.
He said, she's too negative. She hits below the belt. She's just nasty. Like her attitude really is just nasty. So Mel says that she feels like, she's just been poking and poking and poking and poking. She's been keeping her mouth shut. She all over social media, dragging her. It's been like 3 or 4 months. And, she said she don't want to be nowhere around that woman. She said if she was walking down the street, she gonna get on the other side of the street. Fuck the other side. Okay.
I'm not mad at her, Mel. Protect your peace, boo-boo.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the day, when you're an EP on the show, that's a great way to protect your peace.
She wouldn't worry about protecting her peace. That past weekend, that bitch was ready to throw hands, okay? He says that right now he feels like it's possible for the 6 of them to all come together and, kind of build their relationship, at least get it back to where they were cordial. So he would like to call everybody together and have a dinner and talk about Miss Wanda and moving forward. And they both say that they think that, that would be a great idea. It's and they think getting Miss Wanda out the mix would put them all in a more positive place. I agree. So she feels like
sit her ass down.
Timeout.
Put her on timeout
in the corner.
Let her not collect a couple of these paychecks, and I bet she'll get back real reformed.
So she says that she feels like they got, far from their original concept and goals, and a lot has transpired, and wants to know if it's even possible to somewhat get back. And Martell says, oh, it's always a possibility. And she says, sometimes things go too far, and sometimes it's not possible.
Okay.
I think she killed 2 birds with 1 stone with that statement.
It ain't happening.
Be like you when I grow up.
So as we said, Stormi invites Tiffany over to her home, and she's looking to try to strengthen a relationship with her. She asked Tiffany if she's interested in feeding the horses, which I thought was absolutely cute and beautiful, and I would so love.
They're like little miniature horses. They're so cute.
So then her dog Smoke, which I love. I was telling Nels because I watch her lives a lot and follow her. So I know that she has a deer that comes up in her yard every day and visits her dog Smoke. And there's this like love relationship. It's so cute. It's so cute. I love it. So anyway, so Smoke runs out the gate to the neighbor's yard. And, she's like, oh my God, Smoke, no, don't go. And we all know Smoke's coming back. But Courtney, comes out because Tiffany's like, well, where's your man at? And Courtney comes out eating his sandwich. And she's like, really? There's no sense of urgency, but he's like, I'm gonna get there. It's nothing but open field. He'll be back. So now her and Tiffany sit down and, she asked Stormi about how things have been with traveling and her business. Do I get that right? Or I know she asked her about traveling.
She did ask her about traveling, and I think she said her pieces. She said her pieces and traveling.
Oh, so she says everything has been going well. It's easier than she thought. Courtney then comes back with smoke. So then she asks, like, where's the baby at? And, obviously the baby's upstairs. She just fed him, he's asleep or whatever. And asks, how that is. And she's like, it's great. I love it. And she's like, I'm just so grateful because, again, me following her, I also know a lot about her IVF journey that she went through. And it didn't seem easy. So I actually thought it was beautiful. And I was happy to hear that she told Tiffany she's actually thinking about doing it again.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something that she's interested in doing. She said that she does want to carry one more and then obviously have another one by surrogate. Now, Tiffany, obviously, we all know she itching. She want another baby so bad, and she just can't wait and is just waiting, I guess, to do it to Lewis and, right timing and whatever so they can have the, immaculate conception. She asked her about basically kind of what happened at Destiny's Madani's event. And as she's trying to get into that, they start to get up and, they hear thunder in the background. And of course, it's Stormi. She's bringing a storm. I love it. So they run up her driveway, which is super long. Even Tiffany comments in her confessional that, she didn't realize how long it was until she had to run up that.
Mm-hmm.
It was long. It was a workout. Look, I don't think you could be out of shape living at Stormi's place.
I'm telling you.
Nell's already said you need to get golf carts, Stormi. They talk about what happened at Destiny's relaunch. Tiffany tells her that she heard once Mel was done with Destiny, that she beelined to Wanda. Now, Stormi talks about how she has never seen in real life an older woman behave the way Miss Wanda had. And basically she tried to hit Mel from the bed. So, Tiffany doesn't understand how anybody can think this shit is acceptable or cute. And, Tiffany, she just wants to sit back and watch. I'm not getting involved in nothing. That's just ratchet.
She just wants the tea.
What'd you say?
She just wants the tea.
Right. So, yeah, basically Stormi says, girl, what they won't do is ever call me ratchet again. Because that I saw was just straight up ghetto. Okay. She says it was much worse than the Galentine's event. Then she talks about, Tiffany says that she asked Destiny, is she worried about the situation hindering her reputation and Madani and whatever is going on? And
Stormi basically said, no, that's the most action she's got in a while.
Basically.
And, she said in a confessional that she's a firm believer that, you always can turn a negative into a positive and there's no such thing as bad press. So Madani getting all that action in one day was far more than it has ever gotten. Then she starts busting out laughing. Now, Stormi, why you do that? Why you gonna make up with her? Then she gonna run this back and see this. And then y'all gonna fall out again.
But it was funny, Stormi. It was funny.
It was funny. It made great TV.
And it was honest. You ain't said nothing that I ain't said in one of these reviews. You ain't said nothing. I was sitting right there enjoying every minute of it, eating it up. I was like, here goes Stormi saying the same shit I've been saying the last 4 reviews.
You were the worst.
She basically tells Tiffany that, she is actually working on shooting a commercial for a Canvas Girl Beauty and would actually like her to be in it. Tiffany accepts, and she lets her know that she'll have her people call her people.
Period. Martell stops to see Chris Fletcher. And in case you are not aware who Chris is, we've seen him a few times. This is who
Marcel claimed he was with when he was in Atlanta, and that was his bag.
Yeah, exactly. So according to Martell, Huntsville was voted the #1 city in America to live. So he's in the market to buy a new home.
According to Martell. No, we've heard this more than once.
By who? And I mean, what all are they considering? What all are they considering? Are they considering like safety, school, housing prices? What is all being considered here?
In U.S. News and World Report, which is a very respected magazine and publication, proclaimed Huntsville as the #1 city in America after evaluating the job market, housing, affordability, quality of life, desirability.
I thought they ain't got shit down there.
Hey, I'm
I
just,
guess that ain't important.
I'm just giving you the facts.
I guess that doesn't go into quality of life, huh? I mean, whatever. Anyways. So he says, you know, Chris helped him find the house that he's in now. So why not come to him for his next house? Chris is trying to catch up on all that Martell has been up to because he says he ain't seen him since the wine tasting. You said what?
And I said, and they say men don't gossip. Chris was waiting for that tea.
Child, they was
you want to talk about no house. I'm like, he over here trying to talk to you about some money, and you too worried about drama.
You're like, we'll get to that. Let's get to the nitty gritty.
He's like, look, find out what's going on got me in it with his back, so I might as well get in everybody else's.
So basically, he asked them, you know, what he's been up to since the wine tasting. He real vaguely just says, you know, he's just trying to keep busy. He asked about Eminem kids, which I thought was cute.
That was cute.
He says that they're doing great and he's going to get them soon. He also mentioned that his co-parenting relationship is getting better. And he says they want to showcase a very positive atmosphere for the kids.
I don't think I'll get into it later.
He also tells him, I feel like he loves telling people that Mel came over his house.
I was gonna say, is it just me, or am I feeling like Martell is putting too much weight on this trip?
What oh, on the trip, or are you talking about the one time she went to visit his house?
Well, that and just in general, he's putting too much weight. Like, even when we saw the conversation with them and he was like, and she was like, to go back from the start where things like you can, and maybe I'm wrong.
Mm-hmm.
It gives me Martell still thinks and is hopeful that somehow he can get his wife back. Where I feel like Mel is very clear that this is for the kids.
And she's just trying to be cordial.
Right.
So he lets him know that Mel came over to his house and asked him if they can go together to the Destiny event. So Chris asked if that had anything with the drama that went down at Madani. He was like, you know what, we had each other's back 100%. But, you know, I didn't really have to have her back because the whole drama was with Miss Wanda. Although Miss Wanda tried to hit her from the back. So then Martell lets him know that him and Marceau got into it. So Chris asked him, like, you know, so what's the status of y'all working relationship? And he was like, you know, it's a sticky situation. He's always done business with integrity and he continues to move forward, but he doesn't think, you know, that he's going to be able to continue to debate with these people. And he says, you know, they just won't be working together. In the confessional, he says, even though they had a conversation right after Madani, it seemed like Marceau just really wasn't getting it. He didn't understand like the whole conversation about the kids thing. And he was like that he doesn't think like they're even going to be able to be cool after this situation. But then it's making me wonder, is it him that said no, he's not going to be working with him, or is it the whole Tisha conversation?
I don't know. That's a great question, but I think Martell knows that there's no way that they could probably work together. Like, I don't think that they've had a conversation yet collectively. I don't think Marceau has maybe let it be known. I just think he knows.
It's so you think they both individually decided on their own that
like it's not going to work?
Okay. So he also let him in on the idea that he had of getting everyone together and having a sit down dinner to hash everything out. Chris tells him, you know, Tisha, she gonna be super emotional. She gonna feel some type of way, and you know, he wishes them the best of luck. But then Marcel is ready to get into this house business. He says that he's looking to buy a house, you know, because he's renting now, you know. I guess his landlord is trying to sell, and he's ready to buy. He's ready to buy a house. I guess them what Sutter Home wines are selling.
It's amazing what you can do with a label. So Stormi at the whole Canvas Girl Beauty warehouse, okay, got a whole warehouse. So she decided to invite Destiny, in hopes that they don't tear up the warehouse based off, just previous situations and all that fire energy that they got. She talks about how, you know, as Destiny gets there, she talks about how she felt dismissed when Ashley, told her that she couldn't come into the store. So Destiny says she appreciates how she came because a lot of people, how she came correct because a lot of people didn't do that. They didn't show up like that. So she tells Stormi when she's not in a space to like really be receptive, and I'm gonna have to give Destiny this because I'm very much like that. If I know I'm not fucking with you, probably my best option is to not say anything, because if not, my faces, my words, the things that are going to come out when I'm not really in a place of being receptive to you are not going to be receptive. So I get it. Hats off to Destiny for knowing. I ain't mad at her. Now, don't get me wrong, you were still an asshole. We're still very much an asshole, because ain't no way you're going to give me a Gucci bag. I would get real receptive after that. I would get real receptive. So anyway, and then she actually tells her that, she would have preferred Canvas Girl Beauty products over a Gucci bag. So we all know that she was complaining about that. And Stormi talks to her about how when maybe they talked earlier about entering a deal, which I think I told y'all last review, that I was like, Stormi referenced on her live a couple times that they were talking about doing business together before the Galentine's event. And after the Galentine's event, I could understand completely why business did not happen. But Stormi explains that, she was entering a deal with a distributor and a broker at the time. And basically, they expressed to her that there were ways for Destiny to get her product in her store without Stormi have to do anything. And as I was breaking down to Nels off camera, that's like, if I hire somebody to do my editing and they're going to get the reviews out and and whatever, and somebody says, oh, Treese, I want you to do a ad or a commercial in your review, and they're going to pay us for it, or we're not even pay us for it, but you know what I'm saying? And they want us to do something, but somebody else is managing that. And I no longer have to do that. So even though I may know you, that means I have to go the extra mile because I now have somebody that's doing that for me to be like, hey, make sure that you get this person.
But also with them having it being products, she would literally be taking, inventory away from whoever's managing. So, yeah.
Destiny said that, she says, regardless of what happens, she's always going to support Black business. Stormi tells her she's moving forward and she doesn't want them to have any issues, because even Mel pointed out, and I felt like every time she said Mel, Destiny cringed.
Mm-hmm.
And said, because even Mel pointed out that they really don't have no beef. So she tells her, I don't know what y'all have going on, but I don't want to not like someone because someone else doesn't like them, And Destiny, agrees. And then Stormi says, and because we have this common friend, and Destiny's like, hold on. I don't know what she is to you, and you can speak to your experience, but the same person that she claims walked in the store and didn't say hi to her, she does not consider that a friend.
Well,
so now, Stormi feels like there's something that they should be able to do to, just she wants to get all the ladies together and get them moving back in the right direction. She also says that Destiny feels like, Mel was basically largely responsible for what happened outside her store. And basically feels like that, yeah, she could have acknowledged her. So she felt like the whole Mel and Miss Wanda was unnecessary. And then Stormi has to break down and explain to her, well, sweetie, I actually did see Miss Wanda try to hit Mel from the back. So you over here being mad at Mel when really you should have been mad at the bitch that you hired to sit outside your store.
I think Destiny probably just feels like she shouldn't have even addressed it at her event.
And I'm not even gonna lie to you.
Especially dealing with Miss Wanda and the type of person she is.
I'm going to give her that. I'm not that that is the one thing, and y'all know we ain't never hit it with Team Mel over here. But I will honestly say that's the one time Mel was wrong. You shouldn't have done it at that girl's event. But I also said Mel,
especially because you wasn't even invited
half the time. So that was the only time she was gonna see her for real, for real. So she took a chance.
I mean, really, she could have did it just like Miss Wanda did it. I mean, I understand she wanted to address her in person, but or they could have waited till after the event was over. She could have waited till after the event was over. Hey, can I pull you to the side, or can we go up the street? Go, I don't know, grab something or whatever the hell. Can we just?
I
talk?
hear what you're saying. I just feel like I get why she was like, I'm gonna dress it while I'm here. It just wasn't an appropriate time, but at the same time, I do
in
get
Destiny's defense,
I know because I know she's very adamant about protecting her peace, who she films with. And so this was the one like opportunity. She was like, "Oh, we all gonna be here. I gotta come here to film, whatever." So I'm gonna check that bitch because
in Destiny's defense,
a private one.
You weren't even supposed to be here. Miss Wanda was invited. You weren't.
That's true.
And in my mind, you didn't even speak to me. And now you're gonna go outside and speak to this crazy lady. Everybody in their mama knows she crazy. You can't just address something with her and think it's not gonna get crazy. So yes, Mel didn't go over there loud and yelling and stuff like that, but she did go over there with animosity. Of course, she felt some type of way. And Miss Wanda, of course, we know she turns up. So what you shouldn't have done was bring your uninvited ass to my event and turn my shit all the way up.
Well, look at somebody over here holding Mel accountable.
I mean, if she says that, when she says that, you know, it's Mel's fault, it's Mel's fault. I agree. Mel started all that shit.
You go to one damn accountability conference and it's amazing how things change. Stormi, like I said, is hoping everybody can move forward. And she asked her if there's a chance that she can all get them in the same place and they can talk. And Destiny lets her know, unless Jesus himself comes down, she's not doing it. She doesn't see it. She's not here for it. And she don't want no parts of it. So, you know.
Stormi's like, I think it can happen.
Yeah, she said, I think it can happen. And she said, that's the problem. Y'all keep thinking this can happen. It's the same pattern. We keep
Destiny said,
fighting the same people.
Destiny
and it's not happening.
Destiny said, I'm Gucci.
Right.
No pun intended.
No pun intended.
Stormi says, pun taken.
Right.
Like, bitch, I caught it. So at Black, Tisha is watching Marceau practice how to bartend. Go ahead, learn all the tricks of trade to your restaurant, sir.
Okay.
And Funky Dineva shows up.
Funky.
In the confessional, Marceau was calling this man by his whole entire government. Okay, he's like, look who walked in. It's cute. Quentin Latham, aka Funky Dineva. I said, okay, we
and of course I knew who that was because I watched Funky.
We using governments right now.
Well, so he says, here you go. I'm sorry. I really love it.
He says over the years they've grown to have a mutual respect for each other, and he appreciates his insight on their lives. And Tisha, she's nervous about, you know, why he's there. But, you know, she's like, welcome to Huntsville. So Funky says that, you know, it's his first time in a long time since he's been to Huntsville. He said the last time he was there, he was 14 and he's 38. So yes, a lot has changed. It is different, but it's still a podunk country.
Poor dog country.
Basically, Marcel was like, well, yeah, compared to Miami. Is that where he lived? He live in Miami?
Mm-hmm. He lives in Miami Beach now.
So, oh yeah, he said South Beach. So Marcel says that Huntsville is South Beach. It's not, but you know, it is what it is. So
the beach.
You said what?
Where is the beach, Marcel? Where is the bar where the Honda cars be at?
You're so stupid. So Funky,
like to go. I'm just saying.
So Funky says, can he get a margarita? And he left his wallet at home. He needs some free shit. Okay. And Tisha is admiring. She's like, okay, I got a whole new friendship here. And you know, Funky says that Marceau, you know, like they were having a conversation about being, you know, openly gay. And he says, like, being an openly gay Black man, and he says, a lot of masculine Black men really don't want to affiliate with, people like him, and says, Marcel ain't really treat him no type of way. Marcel says that, he feels that, that actually they're the ones struggling with their own identity in every aspect. So they want to be, overly masculine to a point where it's toxic. And he says, I'm just here to prove that you can be a toxic man and not be homophobic. You know what? I can't deal with this man. Now, Funky is like, look, I didn't come here for this shit. Okay. And Marcel was like, what are you talking about, sir? It's real low key here. We in the country. It's low key. And he's like, lie again. Lie again. Because what I saw while I was minding my own damn business all over social media is that there was some tussling in the parking lot. Now, what about it? What about it? He says that he saw a glimpse of Mel's IG and her just yelling for Martell to stop. He didn't know what the hell was going on. He said that Tisha was all in it, her mama was in it with her messy ass and started it. And he said something about like people was talking about people's kids. He don't know. He just wants the tea. So Tisha says that they were at Destiny's event and Mel walked outside to confront Miss Wanda about the lie that she said. Then Marceau says the ladies were outside, and then Martell comes out and was like holding Melody back. And Tisha, had her mom, and Funky is like, see, this is what I'm talking about.
Y'all
women put men in all types of dangerous situations over your little catty bullshit. And in the confessional, Marcel was like, you know what? I think we need to call Dr. Francis up and tell him we don't need his services anymore. We got Dr. Funky. He can think like a man and like a woman.
Hey.
So Funky lets Tisha know from the outside looking in, it feels like your mom fights a lot of your battles and that basically she's complicit in her silence. Tisha's like, no, that's not true. That's not true. I just don't like to argue or speak loud. And when she's talking to her mom, she's very direct with her. And she doesn't, basically her mom just doesn't listen, even though she tells her several times. So Funky asked her, because it's causing you so many problems in your personal life, at what point do you say, if you don't stop, you can't come around here no more?
Right.
First person she looked at was Marceau, like,
because he don't probably
look. Did you put him up to this?
Before.
She like, did you put him up to this? Did you have a conversation?
Right.
And Marceau was like, look, you better not agree with his ass after I done told you this shit over 1,000 times. So she's like, it's just a level of respect that I have for her. So Funky says that you can't be blinded by that old Southern honor thy mother and cherish thy father saying. And she was like, well, that's how I was raised. And he says that he understands that, but every way you was raised was not right. He's like, you're educated. We're in 2022 right now. And it's time to chew the meat and spit out the bones.
Y'all see why I listen to Funky? I'm telling you. I'm not, look, y'all see, I didn't say nothing when Marcel said we need to switch therapists. I ain't saying that. I like Dr. Francis, but Funky he might not need to be a therapist, but you need some advice. He'll give you a word. And he go to therapy. So he's speaking from a place of intelligence.
So she then says, well, what advice would y'all give me? And Funky says, tell your mama to shut the hell up and stay out your business.
Not that.
So she's like, well, what if she don't listen? Like, I tell her, what if she don't listen? And he's like, okay. And let her know if she don't listen, she just can't come around no more. And you got to do that. She shook her head a little bit like, she agreed, but looking at the preview from the next scene, it don't look like it's going to happen.
No. She going to sit beside him.
She going to sit beside him.
Thank you guys. So much for tuning in to our review of It Is Season 5. Haha, got it right. Episode 6 of Love and Marriage Huntsville. Please make sure, if you have not already, that you hit that like button.
You comment.
You subscribe.
And hit the notification bell.
And y'all, please make sure you're following us on all the platforms. We're growing.
So you can see our weekend.
And you can see our weekend. Again, we're going to talk about it. We'll get to it. But guys, we just love the support. We thank you so much. and we just see us blossoming and growing. It's like a beautiful flower. I can't even talk about flowers. My succulent is dying right now, and that's supposed to be the easily.
I'm actually proud of my plants. I've been doing good.
Yeah. But anyway, thank you guys. We appreciate you, and we will catch you next week for another review of Love and Marriage Huntsville. Have a good night.
Mwah.